Hi. Oh, I like this chair. It's nice.
It's old.
So I've been listening to you for a while, and I get the thing that you say that nothing is more important than how we feel, and the quickest way to get things that we want is to be happy.
And what you want is to be happy. That's interesting the way you said it. The quickest way to get what we want is to be happy. Well, but the reason you want what you want is because you think having it will make you happy. So the quickest way to what you want is to be happy, so you're already there. So then it can come more quickly. But humans worry about that. If I'm already happy, even though it hasn't come, somebody's going to hold it out. Like my mother did. If I was good, then she didn't give it to me. I really needed to be needy. I need to be needy before my mother would give stuff to me. And the universe is not your mother. Your mother was screwed up.
So my question is, throughout the day, I look for things, not to make me happy, but I look for things to appreciate. You know, oh, there's a cute little puppy, or look at the sky, it's such a beautiful color.
That's a nice thing to keep momentum going. In other words, from a place of alignment, then deliberately looking for positive aspects can hold you in that steady vibration and allow the momentum to increase, which is more and more satisfying, isn't it?
Right. But a lot of the times when I'm kind of checking in with myself, you know, you get caught up in the day and you're just kind of, you know, on go mode. I'm asking myself, okay, how am I feeling? Am I happy? And a lot of times I'm like, meh, okay. You know, I'm not unhappy, but I'm not like, you know, jump up and down, I just won an Oscar happy, you know. So,
almost no one is.
I mean, I don't expect to be that on an everyday basis, but I feel like my happier should be happier, if that makes sense.
This is the reason that on the emotional scale, let's say there's sadness and happiness, or let's say that there's love and hate, or let's say that there's depression and appreciation. And so happy is there. But when you use the word satisfied, you could be depressed or revengeful, and in your revenge there's satisfaction. If you will use satisfaction as what you're reaching for, then wherever you are, you can lean more in the direction of who you are and therefore get more momentum going in that direction. Don't make work of being satisfied either. But it is nice to notice it when it's just happening. Just notice it and therefore perpetuate it. Since law of attraction is responding to however you're feeling, and you catch a glimpse that you're not feeling that great, then it's good to leave the topic if you can. And the more aware you are of how you feel, then the more you can turn from the unsatisfied to the satisfied. It just gets easier and easier. But if you aren't paying attention and you really get on a negative rant, then of course it's much more difficult. You need a lobotomy or a good night's sleep, we recommend over the lobotomy, or meditation, which we recommend really over a good night's sleep. We would rather see you in appreciation than meditation, because in either case there's no resistance. But sometimes you just can't get to appreciation. And so just be soft about this. So your question is around feeling some dissatisfaction and wanting to turn it into satisfaction.
Yeah, to just be happier, because sometimes when I'm checking in with myself about how I feel, oh, maybe I'm doing that thing you said that we're doing.
But here's the thing, and we're so happy that you are helping us to talk about this here, because here's the thing. So here I am in this moment of time, and I'm having this manifestation, and in this example, I don't feel all that happy, but it is what it is, yes? So it's got to be enough, because it is what it is. And why is it what it is? Because of the momentum that created it. In other words, once something has manifested, you're really going to like this. The emotion that you might call dissatisfaction or not happy, that's a manifestation. Let's talk about this. So you're tuned in, you're in the receptive mode, and an idea comes to you. And you feel the enthusiasm of the idea. So you know you were in the receptive mode because the idea feels really good. Well, along with that idea is the emotion of happiness. And so you're in a manifested moment where the emotion is part of the manifestation. So what we're getting at here is that when you are feeling some dissatisfaction, it's manifested, and therefore it's already happened, and therefore the momentum is already underway, and therefore there's not all that much that you can do about it right here and now. when it feels like that to you. But you take note of it, and you acknowledge that you want to feel happy, and you deliberately launch some more rockets of desire into your vortex, and then you get a good night's sleep, and when you wake up in the morning, you deliberately meditate, because you know that meditation takes the edge off. So now this next day, let's call it Sunday, you've meditated, and so now your chance of, and we use that word because we know how you use that word, your chance of happiness is greater now that you've meditated this Sunday morning than it was before you did. So you meditate for 15 or 20 minutes, and then you just go into your day and you feel whatever you feel. But when you're feeling it, it's really sort of kind of too late to do anything about it, because it's the result of energy that you've already flowed. Are you getting what we're talking about? You can't think your way out of it. You can't talk your way out of it. You can't say, universe, I want to take back all the momentum that I had about that because I didn't really mean it. And after all, I want to be happy. It's going to play out kind of the way the momentum is. But now you launch another rocket of wanting more clarity, of more happiness. And then on Monday you meditate, and you go as far as you can go into the day and feel as good as you can feel. And then on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, and then on Friday. And before you know it, this meditation has put you into more of a receiving mode, so that you are feeling more satisfaction about more things. It's preemptive. It's getting out ahead of it. When you're in an unhappy moment, usually the most that you can do is make a decision to do a better job of vibrationally preparing future moments. But when you're right in the middle of it, can't you see downward spirals? Aren't downward spirals evident? And the more you struggle and squirm within them, the faster they swirl and the more downward they go. And so it really is about not trying to think your way out of it in that moment. It's like, we've been offering an analogy. It's like what's happening now, the manifestation, is sort of like gum that you've chewed all the flavor out of. And the new juice is over here in the new thoughts and in the new things that you're receiving, you see. And so when you feel dissatisfaction, just let it be. And know that your vortex is queued up and that you're being called to more things, and let the satisfaction come from new things. Don't try to wring it out of the old things, because you usually don't. You usually just find more to be dissatisfied about. You want to talk about something specific?
Well, I just kind of feel like sometimes that's my set point, a little bit like, if I don't look for things to be happy about,
We'll go along with you. We'll let you call it your set point. But what do you think the set point of your inner being is?
Elation, happy.
And in fact, the only reason that you can feel that discomfort is because you have departed, or you've moved away from the vibration that your inner being feels, and your inner being is not going to join you over there. So there are two set points involved here: the emotional vibrational set point of your inner being and yours. Isn't it sort of satisfying to know that your dissatisfaction is an indicator of where you stand? Can't that be a little satisfying? Well, at least I know I'm not in alignment with my inner being, and at least I know my inner being is looking at this differently. And at least I know there's help on the way. And at least I know I'm blocking the help right now. And at least I know that it won't last like this forever. You see what we're getting at? Doesn't knowing how this all works help? Esther was annoyed at first when she realized that her negative emotion was because we were in a different vibrational place than she was. And one day, after some pretty strong momentum, she said, Abraham, if you're my friend, come over here where I am and close the gap. I think you should just come over here where I am and I'll feel better. And we said, we're not coming, but we will hold tight here, and we will shine a bright light, and we will never take our eyes off of you, and we will never stop focusing upon all that we know that you want, so that sometime when you are not doing that thing you're doing that is keeping you apart from us, you might stumble into a little bit of happiness. So as we've been talking to you about this emotional scale, where there is appreciation and love on the good feeling end, and despair and depression on the other end. And we've described despair and depression and moving up the scale. Sometimes we do the scale this way, sometimes we do it this way, but you get the sense that there is a range of emotions that you feel, because there is a range of vibrations, like the harmonic in the music that you're talking about, that you feel. And so From despair, there is revenge, which is an improvement. And then there's hatred, which is an improvement from revenge. And then there is love, that is a big improvement, but you don't have access to that. You don't have access to everything on the scale. You only have access to what's in the vicinity of where you are. Have you ever been depressed, really truly discouraged about something, and then you found someone to focus upon, and you felt sincere revenge? We're just asking, wasn't that satisfying? It was, because there was less resistance in it. So what we're wanting you to realize is nobody's asking you to do the impossible and make a vibrational jump. What we're asking you to do is try to find something satisfying. And the thing that we most want you to hear, and this is the thing that twists your brain into a knot, because it seems counterintuitive to the action-based effort, struggle environment that you may have become accustomed to. Take your attention off the thing that matters so much and put it upon other things that are easy for you to feel satisfied about. And let those other subjects put you in the receiving mode so that you can receive things about the thing that matters most. Did you hear that? But it takes focus. It takes focusing upon the desire to feel better, because you can't think your way out of it. When something's really bothering you, you can't think your way out of it, because the more you think about it, the more momentum you get going in the opposite direction of what you want, and the more discord you feel within yourself, and the less happily ever after you are living. We know you hear it conceptually. We know you get the concept that we have just expressed to you. But what most of you are not really believing about yourselves yet is that you can stay off of a subject of such importance, off of a subject that comes into your mind so often. But you can, you see. You can.